Hello folks, my name is John Darrell Tyndall and I suffer from a TBI, a traumatic brain injury. And over the past few years I've been writing some stuff and I'd like to share it with you. My writings, my portfolio is named Reflections, Not Regrets of a Brain Injured Survivor. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And my mother is a huge part of my life, or she was before she passed. And I would do anything for her. I would die for her. I would even kill for her. God bless her. Mother is a gift from God. Mama is always there. If you need a shoulder to cry on, a place to stay, someone to make you smile, a friend, Mama's always there. When you feel insecure, helpless, left out, lost, or just scared, Mama's always there. If you want someone to not laugh when you cry, help out no matter what the problem, stand up for you when you fall, Mama's always there. A mother is a gift from God. Thank you, God. I was really excited. My mother and I were on our way to a baseball game. Excuse me for having a big head, but that was awesome. I don't know how many home runs I had against this team we were about to play, but I'm sure I had plenty. I hit a lot of home runs. You could tell by the size of my stomach that I didn't have to run the bases too often. I was known by a lot of my friends as the Babe. And I'm pretty sure that I was going to go pro. Coach for Churchill was helping me out. The first few times he charged me. When he saw how good I was and how hard I was trying, he gave me lessons for free. Coach C even told me that if I was going to Churchill the next year, he was going to put me on varsity. It was a big deal to be on varsity, especially a big 5A school like Churchill. And a freshman. Yep, I was pretty good. Yep. Yeah, for sure. I was going pro. One thing about me is I always like to think big. My whole life changed in half a second. When I was sitting on top of the world, it all came crashing down on me. My mother and I were driving down the highway in a school bus trying to stop sign. You gotta understand that God made this easier on me by taking away my memory. So I'm just telling you what I've heard from news and friends. We ran into the side of the school bus. It tipped over and fell on us. It squished us. I saw a picture of our car in an old newspaper article. It was about 2 feet off the ground. Don't ask me how I'm living and I'm well enough to be writing this paper. I can't tell you. There were 2 separate EMS drivers on the scene. One got into the car and got me out. He then breathed life back into me. The other EMS driver used the jaws of life to get to my mom. She was being strangled by her seatbelt. When he finally made it to my mom, he cut her out of her seatbelt. He then carried her away from the car and breathed life back into her. They then used the radios and called Air Life. There's no other way to describe them. They had to have been angels. Air Life flew me and my mom to different hospitals. They had to because we were in such awful shape that it took every doctor in each of our hospitals to help one of us. I was in a coma stage for 6 months. My mom was in a coma for 9 months. When we got out of our comas, we were sent to RIOSA, Rehabilitation Institute of San Antonio. I don't know how, but I love my stay at RIOSA. All the people that were there were awesome. They worked me out hard, but they were so fun to be around. When my mom was moved to RIOSA, she stayed there for a while, but then was moved back to the hospital with a serious urinary tract infection. But she lived through that. She's a fighter, a very strong woman. After staying in RIOSA for about 1.5 years, I was moved home. It was great, all my friends. They gave me a big homecoming. After that, about 2 months later, my mom was moved home. We were all getting along great. Like I said earlier about me wanting to be a professional baseball player. It's kind of hard playing baseball sitting in a wheelchair. I guess I'm going to have to open up a business. What do you think about Big D's Taco Shack? I still like to think big. Trust. Why do we exist? What is our purpose on this earth? Are we alone in the universe? Why do things happen the way they do? What happens when we die? Some things are better left unanswered. Put your trust and faith in the Lord. Only He knows the answers to these questions. And in '08, I lost my mother. I'm the one that told the doctor to take her off the machine and let her go to heaven. This is what happened. This is the last goodbye. We got to say goodbye, both me and my brother. He was holding her good hand. I was using my strong hand to hold her weaker hand. They took her mask off and cut off the machines. For the first half a second she was scared, but that faded fast. There was an emotionless look on her face. It was easier to speak with our minds. I said goodbye again. This was the last goodbye. Darrell Tyndall. One has been a bad spectator of life if one has not also seen the hand that in a considerate fashion kills. Friedrich Nietzsche. And here's the obituary, my mother's obituary. Cindy Moser Tyndall, 54, died June 8, 2008, following a lengthy illness. From a sixth-generation pioneer family, she was born October 5, 1953, in San Antonio. She graduated from Junction High School, Shriner Junior College in Kerrville, and Texas Christian University in Fort Worth with a degree in special education. She earned her master's degree from Texas Wesleyan University. Cindy was a forerunner of the Content Mastery program in Bulverde schools and was a special education teacher at Churchill High School in San Antonio. She married Heber Tyndall in Junction on February 16, 1980. She is survived by her husband, Heber Tyndall of Bulverde, two sons, John Darrell Tyndall of San Antonio and Dylan Hill Tyndall of College Station. Her mother, Joanne Hill Molesworth of Junction. Her brother and sister-in-law, Lynn Hill and Debbie Molesworth of Junction. Her niece and nephews, Maggie and Travis Molesworth and John Molesworth V. And her cousin, Julie Waring of Junction. She was preceded in death by her father, John Molesworth III, John Molesworth IV, and her grandmother, Miss Amy Hill. Many children and adults have benefited from Cindy's dedication and drive in educating all those she taught. The viewing was held Wednesday, June 11th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Gentry Fife Funeral Home. Services were held Thursday at 2 o'clock p.m. at Trinity Episcopal Church in Junction, followed by the burial at Junction Cemetery. Published in the Express News, 6/18/2008. And I wrote a little send-off for my mom when I lost her. A send-off. She's a spirit. No more pain or paralysis. I don't think she's made it to heaven just yet. They're still patting her down right outside the big pillars of heaven. She's no longer brain injured. Godspeed, Mom. This is my testimony. How I found God. I was in denial. He was made up for nothing more than hope. I didn't need God. I felt I could run a mile. When my life was in a hole, my faith was strong. Every day I stopped and prayed in the chapel. At first, I felt to turn my back would be wrong. I felt like a worm trapped in an apple. Over time, my life got better. After this, I began to question. There are too many questions left unanswered. I was in a tunnel and I was blind, lost and needing help. Life was a maze and I needed the right path to find. God's spot in my heart was empty. Not knowing what to do, I asked for a sign to turn on the light in my tunnel and show me my way through the maze. Make me a believer and show me what's mine. He answered my prayer. It wasn't a light, it was a beacon. It's a shame to think what it took to make me a believer. God made me realize the truth. For that, He's my deacon. Baby steps. Everyone starts the same. Life is a hard, treacherous game. Some got it much harder than others. Everyone plays the game, both sisters and brothers. Then something called life happens. Baby steps turn into dangerous leaps. In a split second, one reality ends and another begins. As death gets closer, it creeps. And Trace House is a big part of my life, and is a TBI hangout, so that we don't have to be in hospitals. We can go and talk to others with TBIs and brain injuries, and it's a godsend place, and it needs help. For me, TraceHouseSA.org is a godsend. Margaret assures that every day is new and there is no end. Brain injury is a defect, and I'm sick of being different. Broken bones heal, cuts scar, but a TBI gets you till death. That's the deal. Dreams. Dreams can come true. Live every day of your life like you were born again and the day is new. You gotta stay on top of the world and don't let anything get you down. The problems in your life could be as big as a mountain or as tiny as a speck of dirt on the ground. Be sure of yourself and never give up. The competition could fall and you could win with a jump. In this world there is nothing you can't do. How far you get in this life is impossible for anyone to say but you. Friends. Friends, one of God's greatest blessings. They're there till the end. They give you a shoulder to cry on and an ear that'll listen to anything. They have a heart to sympathize. They'll help out no matter what kind of mess you're in. When you think you're all alone in the world, they're there to prove you wrong. One of God's greatest blessings. They're there till the end. Friends. Night no longer. Clouds cover the moon. It's pitch black. Fly forward, you don't know what lies ahead. It's quiet and cold. All the others have left, friends all gone. Keep flying forward, lonely and scared, confused and lost. Everything that used to be is no longer. Rise, sun, rise. This is another special person in my life. Dad. He fills me with admiration. Dad. He's a blessing from God. Dad. Is a magnificent man. Dad. Loving husband to my mom. Dad. Honest and very unselfish. Dad. Would do anything to make his family happy. Dad. There's only one like him. My dad. And this is a little bit out of a good book. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Temptation. The biggest in the pond, swimming in the marvelous water. No distractions or bother, nothing in the way. Something tempts you, calls you. Open up and joyously accept. A horrid pain, it has a hook, trying to get away. It controls your every move, pulling you in. Fight, fight! You're pulled out of the water and bagged. No longer the biggest. Life. Life is a game. No two are exactly the same. Sometimes when your life is on the right track, it gets knocked off and goes back. This happened to me. My life is a perfect example, as I'll let you see. I was the top of my class and a home run hitter. My life was great, nowhere close to bitter. I was in the car on my way to a game. My name was going to be in the lights one day. It was going to be fame. The school bus ran a stop sign and caught us unaware. If I could remember, imagine what a scare. Now what? My memory is horrid and it's hard to play baseball on my butt. My message to everyone is simple and fast. Live every day of your life like it's nothing more than your last. Thank you.